Okay, so we have two congruent cylinders. Congruent means exact same measures. So the two cylinders on the sides are 2.8 centimeters long with a radius of 7.8 centimeters, and the middle cylinder is 10.4 centimeters long with a radius of 3.6. So this middle one right here is 10.4, and it has a radius of 3.6. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do my nets. Okay, so I'm going to draw my nets, and I'm going to do, this is my my end cylinder, and again, sorry about the clicking. And then this will be my middle cylinder, and hopefully that will help out a little bit. Okay, so this is my middle one. Okay, so this is 10.4 in my middle, and my radius is 3.6. So this is 3.6. And then on my end cylinders, and I have two of them, remember I have two. So my radius here is 7.8 centimeters. And it is 2.8 centimeters long, so that would be this dimension right there. Okay, so we have everything we need. So let's talk about our end cylinders first. Okay, and remember we have cylinder 1 and cylinder 2, so once I find the surface area of 1, I can just multiply it by 2 and I get both of them. Okay, so we have the top and the bottom, which are the exact same measure. Okay, so the top and the bottom, exact same measure. So we have area is equal to pi r squared. So this will equal to, and I wonder if I can actually type it in because I'm a little bit faster typer, so 3.14 times radius, which would be 7.8, and I'm going to square it. Okay? So once I get that answer, and I'm just doing it on my calculator here, so I get 3.14 times 7.8 times 7.8, and I get 191.04. And I'm just going to round that. I'm going to double check my answer. 7.8 times 7.8. Okay, and I'm just going to round it to my hundredth, because that's what it asks you to do. It says round it to the nearest hundredth. Or sorry, it actually round to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to do it to the hundredth, and then I'll round to the nearest tenth after. Okay? Now I'm going to times this by 2 because that was just the area of the top, and I need the area of the top and the bottom. So I'm going to get an answer of 328.08 centimeters. And this little thing means just to the power of. It just means to raise the 2. That's all. Okay, so centimeters squared. Okay, so now what we have here is we need the area of that middle rectangle. This one right here. Now remember, this area here has 2 pi rh. As a formula, 2 pi rh. Remember the circumference around times the height. Okay, so let me just write that down here. So this is the rectangle. And the area is equal to 2. I'm going to put pi like that. I hope that makes sense. Let me do that. That's why I don't like typing math. Times h. Okay? I hope that makes sense. 2 times pi times h. So 2 times pi times radius, which is 7.8, times the height, which is 2.8. So you're going to get an answer, hopefully the same as mine. So 2 times 3.14, or your pi button. And I get 137.16. Let me just double check my answer though. 137. Yep, I got it. So centimeters to the power of 2, so centimeters squared. Okay, so now all we have to do now is add these two together. So total surface area is equal to 328.08 plus 137.16. And you should get an answer of one of the cylinders as equal to, let's see, 328.08 plus 137.16. I'm going to get 465.24, whoops, 4 centimeters squared. Now remember, that is only one cylinder. So if I want to actually go in there and just say, that would just be the area of this cylinder. But since this one right here is congruent to that one, all I've got to do is times this by 2. And then, because I don't have to go through all those calculations again, because they're the exact same thing. So you're going to get an area, a surface area of cylinders 1 and 2 of 930.48 centimeters squared. Okay? I hope I didn't confuse you guys there. Now, I have to find this surface area there, which is the middle one, which is this net right here. So the exact same thing. Find the area of your top and your bottom, and then find your area of your rectangle. We only have one of those, so we're just going to add those two together. Okay, so here's my middle cylinder. Let's start doing that. I don't know why I'm writing this. I should be typing it. It would probably take me way faster. So I'm going to switch to typing here. So this is going to be the area of my top, bottom, which are my circles, which are area is equal to pi times r to the power of 2. Okay. So if my radius now is pi times radius, and the radius of my middle cylinder is 3.6, and I'm going to go to the power of 2, so let's just do that. Instead of going 3.6 times 3.6, you can do it that way too, that's fine. So pi times 3.6 squared gives you an answer of 40.69. Okay, I'm just going to double check my answer. Just give me a second here. Sorry, I get 7.2. My decimals are going to be a little off because I think I rounded pi on my first one, but that's okay. If we're a little off, that's fine. So 40.72. So my apologies on the first one. Now, that's just the area of one of my circles. So that would just be the area of this right here. So this one down here is exactly the same thing. So let's just times by 2. So let's just times this by 2, and we get, if that was just the area of the top, if we times by 2, we're going to get the area of the bottom. So 40.72 times 2 is 81.44 centimeters squared. There's your top and your bottom. So now let's do the rectangle in the middle. That again has an area of a formula of 2 pi RH. So I'm going to just switch back. So area is equal to 2 times pi times r, whoops, where am I? Times h. So it's equal to 2 times pi times radius is 3.6 times the height, which is 10.4. And we get an answer of, and this time I'm going to use my pi button, so my apologies. Okay, so I get 235.24. I'm just going to double check my answer. again, once again, I'm using my pi button. .235.24. Awesome. I'm just going to put it so that it's all in here. Okay. Okay, so once again, we have to add these together, right? So my total surface area, let's put it up there. So total surface area of just my middle cylinder will equal to 181.44 centimeters squared plus 235.24, which will equal to 81.44 plus, sorry about that, 235.24. I get 316.68. I'm going to do it one more time just to make sure. 235.24. Okay, I got it. Okay. Now, let's just extend this page a little bit. Okay, so now we've found all three surface areas. This one down here, 930.48 is total surface area of 1 and 2, and 316.68 is the surface area of the middle. So let's go total surface area will equal to 930.48 plus 316.68 minus, now we have to talk about two overlaps. Overlap 1 minus 2 overlap 2, because we have two areas of overlap. Now, let's talk about the overlaps. So this would be the area of overlap 1, and this one would be the area of overlap 2. Well, they are the top and bottom of my middle cylinder. So really, I'm just going to simplify this. I'm going to add these two together, and I'm going to add in those two, and I'm going to do it in pen. So 316.68 I still have in my calculator, so I'm just going to add that to 930.48, and I get 1247.16, decimal 16. Now I have to take away 2 of each of my overlaps. Now my overlaps in this case is going to be the area of one of these circles. So the area of one of these circles is 472. Or sorry, 472. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. 40.72. So I'm going to put it in both, because it's the area of my first overlap, and I have to take away 2 of them, one for the middle circle, just like when I open up those cubes, okay? And then again for the second overlap. So let's see what we get. When I multiply 40.72 times 2, I get 81.44. And I have to do it twice because there's 2 of those. And my final answer is 1,084.28, and we are centimeters squared. Please know that I might be just a little off on my decimals, and the reason being is because I didn't use the pi button. I used 3.4 up here, 3.14 instead of my pi button. I should have known better. So just know my answer might be slightly off. Procedure is absolutely correct.